it. I think wellness is an interesting term. I think if you're going to try and create a well organization, it's a multi-layered approach. It starts, like everything, with the fish rotting at the head. So it's up to the executives or the bosses to decide what is the culture of this group that we want to produce. And then there are tools that you can place into it, which can help you. So the tools you can place is once a week yoga class, once a week table tennis or whatever it is. You can put all those tools in. But actually it all starts from what culture do I want to create in my organization, and that, I think, is where wellness begins and ends. Mm-hmm. Mental health first aider, and the concept is that as the world is changing, that every organization is going to have, like they have physical first aiders, that mm-hmm. you have one or two mental health first aiders. And mm-hmm. So if we take that wellness, if you divide it into two and say there's it, and you use the same principle as they talk about in mental health first aid, that wellness is a continuum. It's a continuum that goes in two directions. It's a continuum from zero physical wellness to extraordinary physical wellness, from zero mental wellness to severe or very good mental wellness, that you've got to attack both angles. So on one side, you want people to be physically well, and on the other side, you want them to be mentally well. And, the ultimate is the middle ground, which is spiritually well, which is mind, body, and spirit. Mm-hmm. Now, all of that really is linked into many things, but it's linked into Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's all Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And at the top, now the thing about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, in a way, in the modern generation, it's being reversed. So when it used to be security was top, you've got to be secure, and only when you're secure can you worry about the future. But mm-hmm, because mm-hmm. people are getting used to insecurity, they're more interested in sense of purpose. So sense of purpose is the ultimate wellness angle that people are looking for. So they're looking for nourishment in their sense of purpose.
I think what it means to me is that sense of richness and a quality that I have in my life, and it's so important. I think wellness has really come on the agenda so much more in the last 12, 24 months. It's always been important, but it certainly has increased considerably. And I think that sense of yourself and getting time for yourself and investing some time in yourself has been challenging, but has been really, really critical. And I guess what I think of when I consider wellness and am I doing enough to invest in my own wellness, I think about, what are the things that really ground me and give me energy and space to be myself. And sometimes that's about just taking time out, just personal space, time to be in my own company, and to just enjoy some of the things rather than always kind of, because I have a family and running a business, so there's lots of demands. But it's I guess, a bit of perspective on your own life and your own being and where you're positioned in all of that. Been really, really topical and very, very important. And I think right from the start, actually, this is one of the areas that we looked at immediately to see, have we got enough supports available to give our clients? Because at the start of the pandemic, so many businesses were in crisis mode, trying to understand how do we actually continue to function, and what do I do with my staff? How do I keep the business alive? And so that's a huge drain on your wellness, because your wellness comes later down the pecking order when you have so many other demands on you. And so we developed some wellness programs and some webinars. We also encourage companies to put in place, obviously, employee assistance programs, but to look at a broad range of things. So, organizing yoga classes at lunchtime is not in itself a solution. There has to be a philosophy underpinning that, where you are actually giving people the space to be even psychologically removed and allowed to be at that yoga class. There's no point in having such a demanding environment that if they go, they don't get the benefit from it, And so one of the things we would have said to leaders, certainly at the outset, put on your own mask first. Make sure you put some time in place for yourself. You need to navigate this. You need to survive this. So be human, take a little bit of space, be a little bit reflective, and that can be a really good role model for the people around you, because it's challenging for everybody, and it's okay to say it's challenging. It's okay to say that you're having some difficulties, or it's okay to say that, I need to take a little bit of time out. So we really encourage people to just see that human side of themselves and to share it. And the other thing I'd say that was really, really important is the 3 C's: collaboration, consultation, and communications. Really, really important. You can't do enough of that. When you've got a team of people working with you, it's so important to make space for one-to-one conversations, walk and talk even. We thought of all sorts of different ideas about how to actually make that personal connection with people, because wellness comes from within. So it's not a transaction. It's something that comes from a series of investments and a series of kind of opportunities. So if you're trying to nurture wellness across your team of employees, there's a number of different ways, I think, to do it. And it's not just a box ticking exercise. So, it is a little bit of a leap for some leaders. I think there are individuals who are very grounded, very connected to themselves, understand how they can respond to different situations, and are personally resilient, but not everybody is. And so we need to give people enough space and opportunity to nurture resilience as well. It doesn't come automatically just because we're in a crisis.
We're back to, are we trying to design systems which have got wellness as a component? Is that what our objective is? If our objective is to decide that we need systems that are value creation for employers and are income creation for employees, and that treat or look after the health of the employees, then you need to have multiple approaches in that system to achieve those 3 goals. No? And one of the things is training the leaders to understand how to deal with people, bringing maybe coaching in as a constant theme in it, bringing in mindfulness as a mental health toolkit, bringing in physical gyms, having a gym that you can go to and have a run, having a punch bag that you can go and punch if you're really annoyed with someone. I mean, but that's building a system that has all the components of wellness in, and are seen as employees as benefits. But we're moving miles away from the Industrial Revolution and Adam Smith in 1820 or whenever it is, and we're modernizing towards something. But the question is, what's the goal of that modernization? Is it to get more out of the employees as a value, or is it to try and create a different sort of society? think is the real thing is wellness as work is it can be described as treating people well at work, or not crushing people. I mean, because some people drive their organizations. They're very, very efficient and they make money, but they're brutal in the way that they drive their organizations. Some people are softer in the way that they organizations, and they understand how to be servant leaders or to drive it in a different way. And wellness at work, I think, is much more to do with the way that the leaders drive things than it is to do with anything to do with a yoga class.